Hello guys and gals, and welcome back to another Cyberpunk 2077 video. Now in today's video we're actually going over another build. We're going over my CyberPsycho build. Now, what is this build? Basically, this build is using yourself as a weapon, basically. If we go in our inventory, I only have Skippy equipped because why not? I picked up Skippy and that's it. But you literally do not need any weapons, because your main weapons are your quick axe and your legendary or like your any type of arm cyberware that you have. Now, the best arm cyberware that you can use for me is monowire. Monowire is insane. It gets boosted by body attributes, like the street brawler attributes in body, and gets boosted by the cool skill, which directly boosts its damage. But it's also really good with the mantis blades and the gorilla fist arms. Yeah. The thing is, with gorilla fists or arms, I don't remember the name, you have to get real close to your opponent to actually deal damage. So it's better to use those for the beat on the bread missions, and then switch back to your monowire or mantis blades. Now there are two ways you can spec this build. There's the mantis blades way and there's the monowire way. Now what I'm going to showcase today is the monowire way. So like I said, no weapons needed. I have Skippy. I never use it. Basically, I only use my monowire. And let's go over the perks. Basically, this is what it looks like. We have a little bit in intelligence. We have maxed out cool, maxed out body, and almost maxed out reflexes. Nothing in technical ability. Now, some will say technical ability is very nice for armor, as you can craft purple variants of the armadillo mod to give you more armor, but you can actually have no points. Well, obviously the minimum is 3 points in tech ability, but you can have the minimum and still have purple armadillo mods, because those mods get affected by your level. Basically, that's how they'll be affected for crafting. And you can get purple armadillo mods from level 40 and up, basically. So we do not need technical ability, although there is a nice perk that helps you get mods. You can find them out in the wild, which is good. So the first way you can spec this build is cool and body. The second way is cool and reflexes, or body and reflexes. Basically, why we're specking cool in body, like I said, is the monowire gets affected by street brawler perks. So we have pretty much everything spec'd out. Now, some of these perks do not work currently, but if they eventually do work, like the gorilla maxed out perk, this doesn't work. There's I think this doesn't work either. There's a bunch of perks that don't work. If they ever do work, eventually do put a point in Gorilla and in those specs. So if you guys want, you can copy the skill tree. Pretty much all these perks are well, not necessary. They're just useful. Frenzy is an increased damage by 100% for 10 seconds when you defeat an enemy. It doesn't stack, so it's basically when you kill one enemy, you'll have Frenzy forever. Then there's Crushing Blows that increase your strong attack damage. You have Daze that has a chance to apply stun. Efficient Blows reduce your stamina cost. Flurry increases your combo attack damage. Which else is very nice? This one doesn't work, although if it does work, this is a really nice buff. This does restore health and HP, which is insane because our build makes us pretty much unkillable. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much Street Brawler done. Athletics. I have a bunch of perks to increase my survivability, but what you really need here is Steel and Chrome. This will increase your melee damage by 20%. The rest of the perks here are just like good perks that you could take if you have perk points left. I'm just going over them real quick. You can pause the video at any time. But yeah, like I said, you really only need Steel and Chrome. In the cool skill tree, go over the stealth. We basically have a few things that are important. There's Assassin, there's Ninjutsu, there's Strike from the Shadows, and that's basically it. Crouching Tiger is nice for movement speed though, so if you want, you can take that. But really, those three skills are what is going to affect your damage, really. Strike from the Shadows increases your crit chance, which we need. We need the crit chance, alright? We do not have, like, near 100% crit chance. We're at 69%. Yeah. Plus the 10% from our Mono Warrior. So we're at 79% crit chance, which is... It's basically 4 out of 5 times all crit. But when you don't crit, it really doesn't do a whole lot of damage because we're using Short Circuit to boost our damage even more. Assassin will just deal more damage to human enemies, and Ninjutsu, although I don't think it works with the Mono Warrior, if it does, do take it. It's going to increase your melee damage by 100% and guarantee a crit, which is nice. And going into Cold Blood now, this is almost decked out completely. Merciless doesn't work apparently. But if it does work, eventually when it does work, this is the perfect perk. Now we have everything we need in Cold Blood to basically make us invincible. Cold Blood with all the stacks and defensive clothing basically makes us have twice the armor. And you can actually do bosses like this. Basically, you get to 45% health with this perk. Like a boss gets you to 45% health, and if the boss uses ranged weapons, you'll basically be invincible now at 45% HP. And you can heal that if you kill enemies or stuff like that. You can heal that back up pretty well, and this is gonna make you take like absolutely no damage in boss fights. We have a ton of perks here, like Predator and Blood Brawl, that increase our attack speed and melee damage for our melee weapons, and we're basically, Cold Blood is basically how we're invincible. Now intelligence is basically just to get, I have level 10 intelligence, but 9 is also alright. Why I chose 10 intelligence is because the fact that the access point that I use to get my Short Circuit is level 10, so that's the only reason. So we have in Breach Protocol, we have Mass Vulnerability, and we have the Resistance perk for Mass Vulnerability. Now this will debuff enemies' physical resistance by 30%. This will debuff all resistance by 30%. So we have a total of 60% physical resistance debuff for the network, and 30% for everything else. So if we're using, physical damage, it's going to do more damage than anything else. But some enemies are weak to thermal, chemical, and shock damage, so sometimes it's better off using those. That's why I have every element for my Mono Wire. And in quick hacking, we only have Bloodware. Now, Bloodware is good for my Short Circuit and my other damaging quick hacks, but the main quick hack we use is actually Cyberpsychosis. The one I have is not legendary. When you do get a legendary one, I'll get to it when I show off my operating system. If you do get a legendary Cyberpsychosis, you will change your operating system. For now, I'm just going on damage for my quick hacks. And the rest of the points, the attribute points, are going into reflexes. The reason why they're going into reflexes is because this will increase your movement speed and crit chance. And if you're going Mantis Blaze, just drop 2 points here into here, or 2 points from here into here, to get 20 reflexes to get max Mantis Blade's damage. And if you're using Mantis Blades, just spec out your perk to your blaze perks like you want. Do be sure to to take offensive defense, because that actually increases your strong attack damage by 300%. And with Mantis Blades, you basically always want that strong attack. Now, I will say this. If you use Mantis Blades, go to your Cyberware, go to your Kiroshi Optics, and see if you have the Target Analysis Cyberware. Now, I don't have it on me, but what it does, Target Analysis, is it makes your weapons non-lethal. Now, why do you want non-lethal weapons if you're going to use a blade that literally cuts people's head off? It's because of how Mantis Blades work. Mantis Blades have this execution animation that, I know for the end game it's not that big of a deal, but when you're leveling up, this animation leaves you vulnerable for about like 3 to 5 seconds, and you're taking damage for no reason. But if you put that threat detector on, not threat detector, the target analysis on, it completely denies this animation, because that animation is a lethal animation. So now what happens is you can kill people just as fast without actually hurting yourself, like without being vulnerable, basically. And since it makes your Mantis Blades non-lethal, you get twice the XP, because you can down them and then kill them. So there's that. So as I said, for weapons we have nothing. Look out for like your armor. Look out for armor that has multiple armor slots that you can put armadillo mods. And look out for armor that has crit chance and crit damage. Now, this piece of armor has crit damage, but it is significantly like less armor than my other helmet, so I don't really take it. So this is what it comes up at, as like 156 crit damage. So yeah, let's go over our Cyberware. Now, for the frontal cortex, I have the visual cortex support, which increases my crit damage. I have the limbic system enhancement, that increases my crit chance. XDix is basically like, it doesn't really matter. I have the Kiroshi Optics Mark III, which the Mark II is perfect. You can use Mark II or Mark III if you use Mantis Blades, just get that trajectory analysis out of there. For our circulatory system, we have a micro generator that will release an EMP when I'm at 50% health. I have the blood vessels that will increase my health regen. And I have Sin Lungs, which increases my stamina regen, which is completely insane. Like, my stamina is insane. I can just swipe and kill people forever. For our immune system, we have Shock and Awe, which has a chance to electrocute nearby enemies when they damage me, which if they do 1 damage, it's gonna happen a lot. So it's a little bit of damage. Now we have the metabolic editor, which basically turns poison into healing that is very fast. So that's why I have like biohazard grenades on me. Now I have for the nervous system, I have the Kerenzikov to do Kerenzikov jumps. And I have the synaptic accelerator to slow down time when I get detected. For my armor system thing, I'm not gonna pronounce that. I have the armor that increases my armor by 300%. You can actually put some other stuff that like grants immunity to burn, stuff like that, if you want. Now for our skeleton, we have the bionic lungs and the signal optimizer. This will increase health and stamina respectively. For my hands, any hand thing works. And for our legs, we have double jump. For our arms, we're using the monowire. You can use the gorilla arms or Mantis Blades if you want. Right now, I have crit chance. You can also use crit damage. I have the charge damage multiplier thing, and I have thermal damage equipped, so that's what I'll use. And for our operating system, basically I have the NetDriver Mark V, because it basically makes it so I can upload short circuit to 2 people, or I think even 3 people. I can apply short circuit to them, and I can get cyberpsychosis like it'll increase my damage from like short circuits, synapse burnout, and other like damaging quick hacks. But I'm mainly using cyberpsychosis, so yep. Let's go over the gameplay. So we're in the Pacifica farm. Let's just see these people. So you can just whip people to death. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Let me go in stealth actually. Let me go see if I can, you know, kill this guy. Now, you won't see a huge increase in damage with the monowire. But yeah, there's that. I killed a citizen. Sorry about that. So as you can see, now I have the police on me, so I'll just do my little trick. There you go. Get back up. Now sometimes it takes a while for my character to draw his, not his pistol out, but his monowires out. For some reason. So Krenskov. So as you can see, these guys are not dead, and some because I'm using like non-lethal. It's just because your monowire is usually non-lethal. It can cut people's head off, but it's not all the time. So. So as you can see, we're basically never consuming like much stamina, and if I get shot right now, if you know, these guys shoot me, like, hello, are you guys like enemies and stuff?
Well, what do you want? This may take several minutes.
Hello. My weapon is not loading right now. Alright, well.
Let me tell you something. Anything can.
Okay, now they saw me. You just see the damage that they do. Yeah, 1 damage. Unless they're using a knife. Yeah, when they're using a knife, it does a little bit damage. But yeah, like as you can see, near no damage. And you can just whip them to death, which is pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun. So let's use cyberpsychosis now. It costs 2 RAM to use it. Now look at this. It'll take a little bit. Don't mind it. Don't mind it. And look at them just shoot each other. They're gonna shoot each other. Now for the time during, or like they're stabbing each other because you're using knives. It doesn't do that much damage because, you know, it's enemies. But some enemies that have like this guy, he can have it costs 12 RAM actually for this guy. Because these guys are like low levels. They'll just fight themselves. Then, you know, can use on this guy, can use a little bit of short circuit. And it applies to that guy too. And this guy, you know what? He saw his friends die. There you go. He doesn't want to live anymore. And boom. Yep. This guy. Let's use cripple movement. I like cripple movement. How it like basically makes them like not move, so you can just whip them to death. It's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's about it. It's a very short build because it doesn't really use that much stuff. You can use Mantis Blades if you want. I just prefer using the monowire because it has great range. Like, look at this. I can just whip them from like afar. They can't even hit me. And these peeps. Yep. So that's about it. If you guys did enjoy the build video, be sure to leave a like. If you guys want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.